3, 2, 1, end of test. Keying with a go.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Warbird Wednesday. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum, and today we're headed down interesting aircraft lane with something, you know, Jason, why have a helicopter? Helicopters are expensive. Couldn't we just do something with a ducted fan airplane at very low speed and make that work? And that was the vision of John Edgley, and I'm going to talk about that. But first, am I Bullwinkle?
And here, with his bird's eye view and a brain to match, is Mr. Know-It-All.
What do you think? Oh, I almost got a smile on that one. There we go. This is another one for the kids in the education program. There we go. We're going to be talking about the EA-7, the Optica. Now, the Optica, there have been observation planes a whole bunch throughout history, and we've covered a lot of them. But this, the idea behind this was that you could get a ducted fan and get down at very low speed. You would have a bubble for 270 degrees view, similar to a Hiller 360 or a model, a Hughes 269. And the idea was you would have this big bulb on the front of it, which give you 270 degree view with a ducted fan and a twin tail boom. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up a plan view of this Otter here. Greg can throw up a plan view of the EA-7 at home, and although this thing is not as, the Otter is really not as much of an observation plane, but good cargo airplane. But the idea was that if you had that vision and you had something very low speed, helicopters were incredibly expensive. The other thing about helicopters is the helicopters, I've heard people say that they're all parts, if I get this correctly, parts flying together, waiting to fly apart. In other words, the helicopter always wants to come apart, right? So you could do this with something. This actually had a like homing flat 6 in it that was driving that ducted fan. So extremely simple construction. You didn't have to do all that stuff. Very low speed. And that was good old John Edgley's vision. Now, the challenge that John Edgley ran into was, come on here, Jason, stick with me, venture capital.
Venture capital is money that is provided by investors to startups that have the potential to reshape markets and grow very fast. The money deployed by a VC firm usually comes from institutional investors, corporations, or wealthy individuals looking to make some serious dough.
And you have to go out and you have to get people that will believe in your vision, and they will give you money, right, to build this stuff. And so John Edgley went out and did that, and he built a few of these things. And then what happened? Jason, you're not staying with me here. The investors got greedy.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
We're going to come back and talk about that. We're going to do this with Route, man, you're on a roll with pure cane sugar. Route 66 soda, cream soda. I have never liked cream soda. It's got a ghost town on there, so that's kind of interesting. We'll go ahead and give it a shot. This one is actually to John Edgley because this guy had a dream. It never happened. We'll talk about ultimately what ended up with his product, and but it's just sad. So John Edgley is one of those entrepreneurs that actually comes up with the idea, thinks about what's going to be done, and then gives it to venture capital. And what ends up happening is they end up taking the idea over, and he really doesn't get anything. And that happens a lot with inventors. So today we're going to salute inventors, all you inventors out there, all you believers, especially aerospace and rocketry. Don't give up on your dream. I salute you.
Our bottles are designed to represent the quality of our products and the integrity of America's highway. Be sure to include a Route 66 soda at home and in your travels.
Yeah, that's everything I felt cream soda was not. Not a big, we're going to, good old John, we're going to give you one more sip and all those inventors. So, the premise on this was great, and they knocked out 22 of the airplanes. Then the investors got greedy, and they forced good old John out after they got the 22 done, and they proved the concept, and they shopped it around. The military thought this was absolutely a fantastic idea, and they come up with a thing called the Spirit. And the Spirit was supposed to be the next kind of big thing. But imagine the slow speed ducted fan, very rugged, could operate anywhere, and they are still, to this day, chasing funding for this thing. I have a feeling, Jason, that what will happen with the EA-7 is what made it obsolete, or what will make it obsolete, is drones. You no longer need aircraft to loiter over the battlefield. Look at what's happening in Ukraine right now with these really cheap drones. We just, we'll date ourselves, but we just had that thing where the Ukrainians blew up, some say 40 aircraft with those cheap drones. And you don't need these low-speed aircraft anymore, or even helicopters for that matter, to hang out over the battlefield. And so I think at one point in the 1980s, 1990s, and this fits right in there with its first flight in 1979. As I said, 22 of them were built. They have been shopped around, and the Spirit has been shopped, especially to the UK. And although it looked at one point that they were going to buy the aircraft, I think the entire drone thing going on in Ukraine has killed that idea, as all the major air forces rethink what they're going to end up doing with observation. And that is the end of the EA-7, the Optica. A great idea. You know what would be actually fun is to just have one of these and flying around. Jason, what do you think? With a big old canopy on it like that, that would actually be kind of fun to fly. Now, if you are sitting at home and you want something to do, this is totally cool. Get yourself one of these snap together airplanes. They are really neat. You click on that link. Jason will gladly run down to the store and send you one of these, and you too can, with the kids, you can be the hero with the kids and order one of these things. They are very, very cool. Now, I am standing in front of the little cheeser. This is the flight jacket in our B-17 exhibit in the B-17 hangar, and we cannot do all this stuff and preserve all this stuff without your help. So click on that link, donate a few bucks. We can certainly use it. If you came across us on the internet and you like one-take Warbird videos, we're the place to be. Go ahead and forward our link to your friends. If they like that kind of content, give us a comment and a like or a subscription, depending if you found us on Facebook or YouTube. We can use it very much. If you are educating the kids at home and you want to have something to do, in the link description, there are free educator links. You can download those, teach your kids at home, do one section, do an entire section, an entire session. They are free, and we encourage you to do that. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.